27th, 2021, Carroll County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order, and we'll start off with the introduction of members.
Jeff Watson, representing the area plan commission.
Representing the mayor.
Doug Walker, representing schools.
Everett Snowberger, County Camden.
Teresa Maxwell, Carroll County Commissioners.
Okay. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from June 22nd, 2021, and everyone has a copy of the minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented?
I move the minutes be approved as presented.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is variance B 2021-5 Pondview Acres LLC. And, it's at, on Division Line Road, and, they're requesting a 20-foot setback on lots 1 and 4 through 10. Okay, that's the way I was reading it. Doug, has this been properly advertised and signposted? Or Cameron? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yes.
Okay, and fees paid?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is, Mr. Walton, do you have anything you wanna say concerning your,
Sure. So, your traditional setback on a typical county road starts from the center line of the road, because that's traditionally been the property line. I verified that with, county surveyor, prior to the meeting. And, so 50-foot setback from there, as compared to in a subdivision, it starts from the property line, which is 25 feet from the center line of the road. And so, I'm basically saying, I want something the equivalent of a 45-foot setback from a traditional setting. And the reason why it's important, on the back of your pamphlet there, you'll see the situation that is typical of 8 of the 10 lots. And that is, if you look down towards the bottom, I got 100 to 110 foot dimension called out there. And that goes from the crest of the hill, if you will, where it goes down to the pond, to the property line, is about 100 to 110 feet. If you do a 50-foot setback from the property line, and then you have and I'm finding most of these higher value homes, especially when they have these offset garages, they're 50 to 60 feet deep on a lot of these. I thought, well, 34 feet would be pretty typical. Well, a lot of these footprints are 50 plus. And so you end up with the house sitting right there at the crest, and they really don't have a backyard. And so that's the reason I'm asking for this 20-foot setback, is to give them a little bit of a backyard. And in essence, it's gonna look like a 45-foot setback from the center line of the road that is affected. The 2 lots at the far south end that are abutting the Division Line Road have got deeper lots. And so it really doesn't apply to them, and that's why I excluded lots 2 and 3 from that.
Where's that, put it actually from the road, edge of the road setback?
The actual edge of the road would be 36 feet.
So you're planning on your vehicle, yeah, and make your turn radius.
Yeah. Currently, I have 4 lots that I've got deposits on. 2 of those lots are contingent on this variance going correctly for me this evening. And I have 1 other lot that I'm supposed to call them tomorrow if this meeting goes well this evening, and they'll probably die. So I've got 3 lots that are contingent on this variance. Because the time, when I originally conceived this Pondview Acres, the assumption was, in fact, it was discussed in front of the area plan introductory meeting, and the preliminary meeting, was a lot of these homes that are assumed to be built on walkout basements. Well, the cost of these homes today, I've had 2 builders that have told me they're not interested unless it's, they're not gonna be putting basements on them, they can't afford to. These high value homes just don't, that much higher, and they're just gonna put them out of reach. And so they're not gonna be interested in pursuing it further. I mean, I don't have any offers on it, but that is a shut-off point for them if I can't get this variance. Thank you. Any questions? Thanks.
Cameron, you want a staff report?
Ken Walton submitted an application for a variance to the zoning ordinance for specific lots in the proposed subdivision Pondview Acres LLC. The application and fee were received on June 28th, 2021. The variance was properly advertised in the comment on July 14th, 2021, and the site sign was also properly posted. The office has received no comments from the public or adjoining property owners. In preparation to the staff report, we did get one email 2 days ago, I believe it was. The applicant was requesting a variance on lot 1 and lots 4 through 10 in lieu of the 50 feet setback, front setback as stated in the Carroll County zoning ordinance, Article 3, Section 1, paragraph B. Mr. Walton is asking for a 20-foot setback on the front property line to allow for specific lots that have a larger backyard, as we just discussed with you guys. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property would most likely be unaffected. The property value of the subject parcels would only increase with the new construction of homes. The change in the front setback would not be injurious to the public health, safety, moral, or general welfare of the community. It is also the staff's opinion the use and value of the lots would increase the value of the additional space in the rear of the property, and there would be no adverse effects on the neighboring property values. The staff would also provide a favorable recommendation for approval for this variance.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Will I have a chance to say something?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Now?
No, no.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any questions from the members? Staff report?
I have a question about the property.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a highlighted dotted line. The lake is part of the property,
Yes, it is.
that's what I looked at it.
Yes, it is, that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we'll, are there anyone that wishes to speak in favor of Pondview Acres LLC variance as presented?
Look, I just got a question on clarification.
Or do you need to stand up here and ask your question? State your name.
Mike Neal. Only question I got, if you go back to the original property line, because what you're doing now is from the middle of the original road you're saying. But if you actually go to the original property line, you have more than 50 feet. From up
Yeah, it
the
would be
ground
50.
side. So really, you're not really asking for much other than the fact you put the road in and turn around and gave it to the county.
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's clarification I needed. Just wanna double check, I understood it right.
So you're asking only for variance off the road that you built?
Right.
Not the county road?
That's right. That's correct.
Which this road will be, in a year's time, will get converted, the county will take over. So for a year, it remains under the bond agreement and all that, and then after a year with the commissioners, if everything's satisfied, then it gets turned over to the county for maintenance.
So then you wait a year before they do that?
So Cameron, I got a question. So this will apply under the
residential, which falls back to its underlying zoning ordinance, which is agricultural.
And it says it shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on a public highway. And a lot width of at least 150 feet at the building setback line. Minimum yard size, front yard 50 feet, rear yard 25 feet, side yards 25 feet. And minimum size, larger 7 feet in the lot, minimum required prior to the adoption of the ordinance. Okay, side yards could be 7 feet if it was adopted prior to the ordinance. So 25-foot side yards, so. Ken, I can't read the, you have the 150-foot
You know, make this
front
bigger.
yard.
They are, most of them are 200 feet or 230 feet or more.
Okay.
The smallest
Okay.
one
I
will
just
be,
can't read.
the smallest one will be lot 10 as far as the frontage, and I can't tell you what that is exactly. I do have the drawing here, so bear with me while I look it up. You got it there? Okay. Most of them are 230, there's a couple of them that are over 400 feet. But most of them are 230 feet, and there's one that's 200 feet. Lot 10 is the smallest.
So Cameron, would that lot 10 be in compliance with the rules of 150 foot?
Sorry?
Would lot 10 be in compliance with the 150 foot frontage?
206. 206.
But that's the state highway, not the county road. And 150 feet at the building setback line.
It's on a radius, I can't tell you what that dimension is.
Do you know where for this line right here, Lou, to answer your question, this line right here is the lot. So
Okay.
not knowing where the structure's gonna be on lot 10.
I guess they'd have to run that past you and they.
It'd be some, once they put it in with their plans, that would be
Yeah.
something that could be looked at then.
So your concern is what, Everett, in particular?
Well, I just read that the track shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on a public roadway, so this is gonna be a public roadway on View Drive, correct?
Right.
Would lot 10 have 150 feet on the public roadway?
It really stops right here.
This is setback.
That's a 40-foot radius. Yeah,
The cul-de-sac,
That's just a turnaround.
yeah, 40-foot radius. Maybe 240 feet circumference. So it would have to have more than half of a semicircle on the road to meet the 150 feet. Correct.
That sounds right.
That's also oversized.
That whole circumference is now all this property. It doesn't connect lot 9.
Part of the circumference is on lot 9, and part of it's on lot 10.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, so it doesn't encompass a full, in excess of
The building said the front's gonna be
180 degrees. So it says here, the track shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on a public roadway. So on View Drive will be a public roadway, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Lot one will have it.
Yeah. What about lot one then?
It's just got a little corner.
Yeah, lot one would.
Lot one, fronts the, it has access only through the, adjoining property, okay? Its access is through lot 10, or through the 10-acre parcel that's on the east side. Its easement is through that 10-acre parcel. You see that 40-foot width up there at the top?
Right there.
That's its access.
So it does not have any access to any public road whatsoever?
No, it does not.
It has no, it's not on
Its
Division,
access is via, easement.
it's not on Division Road?
No,
Division Road goes just to the south of it, correct?
that's correct.
It says the track shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on a public highway or roadway. Then you're saying it would not even have any frontage on public roadway?
No, that's not how that works, and subdivisions don't necessarily have to have, public road access, that's kind of the purpose of the subdivision. If they do have public road access, then it needs to be 150 feet, but that one doesn't have public road access, so that doesn't apply.
This one is the agricultural zoning district.
Isn't it falling under ag rules, not subdivision rules?
Yeah, this is the minimum lot size. This is in, Article 3, Section 1C. Lot area, 1 acre excluding roadways. Division of land in this agricultural district into tracts of 1 acre excluding roadways, or more in size, but less than 10 acres, up to a maximum of 2 divisions in any parcel of land is referred to as parcelization and is exempt from subdivision ordinance. Any tract created by such parcelization shall meet the following criteria. The tract shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on a public roadway. The depth shall not exceed twice the width of the frontage of the public roadway. The septic system, existing or proposed, must be approved by the county sanitarian. There shall be no more than 1 residence on the tract. Lot width at least 150 feet at the building setback line. And then it goes on to minimum yard sizes, front yard 50 feet, rear yard 25 feet, side yards 25 feet, unless it was approved prior to February 271, which it could be then 7 foot. You know. So, you know, I'm not an attorney, but, you know, it looks to me like it says the tract shall have a frontage of at least 150 feet on public highway. Is that correct?
But that's if you're just building normal and looking at ag district.
Okay.
So if you look in the subdivision,
Okay.
on, what it would be. It's on page 6. It's talking in about lots, it says every lot shall abut on a public street or permanent easement of access at least 20 feet wide, which connects to a public street.
Page 6. But on a public street or permanent easement of access of at least 20 feet wide, which connects to a public street.
And the
Side lot lines shall be approximately at right angles or radial to street lines. So that's saying in that instance, 40 feet would be in excess of the 20 feet. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't answer the question on lot 10, which does about 80 public street. But that's not lot 10, then. Well, I can't answer that. It's more than this portion of the radius over here.
Or if it doesn't, just run around it, it's not very. It's out.
No, that, if there's a gap of the, you need to get back to the property line from here to there. And in rough numbers, that would be 80-foot diameter times 3 would be 240 feet, would be 120 feet. So it needs another 30 feet beyond 180 degrees of reference.
So the lane that goes down to the,
That's not a lane there, that's just,
never mind that, lots down there, but not.
that's just a pipe drain that goes down through there. And, 25-foot setback from either side of that.
Does it meet the 150 feet requirement?
I don't know.
Okay.
What does it take to satisfy this board? in
Well,
that
you'd
regard?
have to apply for either a variance, am I correct?
Yes.
An additional variance to do that, if it's less than 150 feet.
Cameron, could he have, before he started this, could he ask for zoning U1 or U2 for this year, rezone property for agriculture?
Any petition has been asked to rezone, yes.
So if he'd asked for rezoning this parcel before he started, and he could set the setbacks where he wanted them at.
Yeah, that's for any petition can do that.
But Larry, now he's left the agriculture, so we're stuck with the, more set the, more setback requirement of the district.
If you were zoned to U1, then it wouldn't be a problem.
But he can do it with covenants, he can take the covenants and say, just do the 7 feet on the side, or 6 feet, and you can make it 50, you can make it 25, Larry, if he would have asked, got rezoned, to start with, he could let it in the covenant. Whatever.
Yeah, anybody has a right to petition to rezone, that's not something that's, anybody can make petitions, I guess.
Can you approve all others except that one lot? And then I will reconsider and reapproach the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Is this one of them that's,
That's in the variance.
what's that?
Lots 4 through 10, lots 1 and 2.
Right,
Correct.
is this one of them that's dependent on what tonight's meeting is?
I'm sorry?
Lot 10, is this one of them that's dependent on tonight's?
Yes. I take that back. Lot 10 is not dependent on that. I take that back. They were still talking about that. So that one could be affected, but they've not said that as much yet. So I'll waffle on that one. I do not have a direct answer on that one.
What's the negative of having this rezoned to a subdivision? Is there higher real estate taxes, or what's the, why do you
I
want to
don't
do
know,
that?
I don't.
It is a subdivision, I mean, it's just, it's zoned ag, which I'd say 90% of the subdivisions in the county are in the ag district, so.
And that's what its original zoning was, ag, that's what it was before this project, so that's where it stayed, it's underlying ag.
If it were rezoned U1, then the U1 rules would apply, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So-
Can, for the sake of trying to save these sales, is it possible to approve the other lots on this variance?
He can ask, or he can notify the area plan that he is removing the request for lot 10 from this. Yeah.
Okay.
Can that be done at this meeting?
Yes.
I got a question, this kind of goes back, in, the limestone operation East Camp, people came in to get those, rezoned from, that was a rezoning bill, correct?
Industrial,
Yeah.
industrial to ag.
So, and each one of those have to do that individually? Correct. Okay, and here we have several lots. Is it acceptable to do them as a bulk unit, or should
At
they
this
even?
point,
at
because
this
they
point.
are still owned only by the subdivision,
Okay.
they're not owned by any individual.
I can't do it individually.
Okay. Seven or subdivision.
I just wanna make sure we didn't screw up or something on that. So, okay, any other questions at this point? And, you know, well, I'm gonna ask for people who are against the, variance. Is there anyone that wishes to speak against?
I just need clarification, I don't know if
Well,
it's against.
please stand up and you can ask the question.
All right, I'm the lady that lives directly across the street from the subdivision, and, it's my husband and our
Okay.
retirement home,
Yeah,
but anyway.
What's your name, ma'am?
Linda Brewer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I guess I just need clarification on, the letter I received said that you wanted to change from a 50-foot to a 20-foot.
Right.
To me, that's awfully close to the road. And having lived out there, I know we had different families at different times racing up and down that road. And I know I've had my own son flip a car in somebody's front yard before, and it wasn't 20 feet. That doesn't give you much room for any error. But I'm also concerned about, you know, when I bought my property, I made sure I had the room I wanted so that we could set our house back halfway and still have a nice backyard and front yard. And I would have thought that that would have come up a lot sooner than now. And I'm just concerned that I'm gonna have these two-story houses sitting right on the road, right across, you know, from our house, and that just isn't very comfortable for me.
Well, ma'am, lot 1 and lot 4 through 10 are the ones that he's petitioned for variance. Lot
Okay, so
2
we're not talking about 2 and 3?
2 and 3s do not, they adjoin Division Line Road, and there's no request for variance on those.
Okay, so those stay at the 50?
Those would say.
Okay, that's just
Okay.
the clarification I needed,
Okay,
thank you, I'm happy.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak, either in favor or against? I'll close the hearing, then, no other comments, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, any discussion from the board, any questions from the board?
Can you take this outlot, like they're small enough to get the air cool out there? Probably not, you need that 60 feet long.
That was my question earlier.
Kind of, I guess it's late in the game to do that. I mean, if that would have been brought up at the original, you know, that would have been the time to do that, but there's a lot of money between getting that fixed and getting back to that.
You've already got the utility separated lot.
Oh, yeah, the utilities are already in place at those lines, so, that's where they set the transformers, is at the property lines.
So we need to figure out how to make the lots work the way they are.
That's my hope, please. If I may ask one question,
Yeah, sure.
by taking this variance on the variance and excluding lot 10 from it, that does not preclude me from approaching this board at a later time on lot 10.
I wouldn't see why.
No, you can do a separate petition.
Yeah.
But what he's asking though, doesn't, I mean, what your issue is, doesn't have to do with the setback so much as it doesn't meet the guidelines.
That's
It
good
would be a
point.
different type of
We could still pass.
It'd be a different variance, but
Different
he would have to, he would
You can
have
pass this
to,
variance, it'd be a separate variance request for
it would be,
the.
lot
Lot 10's width.
1.
That's a good point.
lot
Yeah, so
1,
this variance on its own
4
could
through 9.
survive.
Lots 1 and 4 through 9, and then he would have to come back and
Petition for lot 10.
for lot 10 for a variance on the front yard setback and the public street frontage.
What could we give you the front yard setback
Yeah.
now, it doesn't mean you
He
could.
would just have to do the 150, not the front yard setback.
Yeah,
Oh, there,
yeah.
okay,
So we can give him what he asked for if he so desire.
yeah, but he still wouldn't be able to.
He'd have to come back in and get the variance for the.
To be able to
Lot
build
10.
it.
Correct,
Lot 10, yeah.
lot 10
But
only.
you're thinking it's fairly close now, correct? You're thinking it's fairly close now, right? It might be just a little short. So why don't you just approve it if it meets the 150, then you
I
go
don't-
major.
I
See.
don't, Mike, I don't think it's going to be.
You don't think it does, okay.
Yeah.
It's not even gonna even be close, because it has, it would have to encompass half of the circle,
Fine.
the cul-de-sac circle, plus about another 30 feet. And right now, it only encompasses about 3/4 of a half, so it should be about 120 degrees or so. And, that would be about 1/3 of the circle, which would be about 80 feet, plus maybe another 30, which would be maybe 110 or so. So you need, you know, my guess, I'm just rough numbers, I guess he'd probably be somewhere around 30, 40 feet short of the 150 feet frontage, you know,
I would agree.
you know, so.
That's circumference on lot 9, or 10, could be enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it was,
it's-
no, it would not, it would still be a little short.
Okay, but clarification to me then.
Yes.
On lot 10, do you still need the front setback from the road?
yes, let's please do.
Okay, so
Because
I
it
would
is a
be-
question that this party was still considering. So
Okay.
let's please do
Why
include
don't we
it.
go ahead, we can do that, because that's what he applied for, and then,
Separate petition.
before he can sell the lot, he's gonna have to
Come
come
back.
back and do the variance from the road frontage.
Road frontage, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Any other questions? We good?
We're good.
We good?
Other than, are you okay with that?
I think that's kind of what we have to do. I'm not above the law.
No, they can do this off the paper, but, you know, what he's gonna have to do is, you know, whoever designed this is gonna have to say, I've got so many feet of road frontage, you know, it's less than the
Subtract the one.
150, so I need a variance for so many feet of missing frontage as required by the rules.
And then petition for that and,
And advertise it in newspaper and everything, it'll follow on. So,
See that next?
okay, any other questions from the board? Everybody, okay, do I hear a motion?
I think I called the questions.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded, any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So, now we move on to the questions for variance. Yeah, thank you. And, variance is the appeal of the board requesting variance shall demonstrate and the board may approve such variance only upon determination in writing that. And there are 3 questions that have to be answered. The first one will be, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and welfare, general welfare of the community. And the motion must demonstrate that it will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. So, is there a motion?
I move we accept this variance. It will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. It will be, make it safer that they do not have such a steep back road.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. B, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Brenda,
Page 39, 40, that's 40 now.
40.
I move we,
Technically.
I move we accept this, variance. To not accept it will substantially affect the location, the property and the plans for it.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. C, the strict application terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property.
The property set up with a pond in it, to be able to do this and make it work well, we need to let the variance go as presented.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, call the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Strict, or the, motion carries. So you can grant the variance for the setback on your front yard.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Guess I'll see you next month.
We'll be, well, I won't be here. Then it'll have to be, I will not be here next month. We're gonna be here. That's your homework, Mr. Wall.
I'm going crazy.
So we have to go back to lot 9 and 10 or whatever, we have to twice or just one we take care of?
No, no, it's
This
just,
is 10.
ten's the only one that needs a variance.
No, I think 9, there's enough room on 9 to get there.
Oh, nine's plenty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want a couple of that.
Yeah, 995 feet. Well, it's always not bigger on there. So, that's what it shows, 195 feet. I don't know whether that's just straight or compass curve, but they're coming there. Oh, this segment right here, I think that's only 13.67 feet. Right there. Like additional. Just guessing. Okay. Next item, director's report. Cameron, any goodies for us?
Gave Sandy before my township report, I think July or June, we had 2 new homes. I believe it's 38 cement, is that right? Yeah, we're staying busy, and I know with lumber going down, we're gonna get a lot busier, so, surprisingly, the numbers for new houses are, actually, I think they're higher than they were in 2020, which is shocking, with everything going on, so we're continuing to stay busy and chugging right along, so. Getting a lot of phone calls on flood stuff still, and a lot of new addresses signed. Staying busy.
What's the reasoning behind the new addresses? Is it just something that's come up and we realized there wasn't any, or? is it just-
Utilities are making a lot of the lots that they don't have anything at all now, so they all have an address, but they don't have a 911 address, so if you live on 350 south, 500 north, it'll have that, but it won't have the number in front of it, which is not in the 911 system. So if their workers are out there working on a telephone line or something in the air, they have to have a 911. I think that's, did that pass through the state, through the utility foundation? So a lot of it's for safety, for the utility workers, but a lot of them, people just didn't know they didn't have an address. And they're looking into selling their lot or something like that, and the bank says we need an address for that parcel. So we're getting a bunch of them. Some of them are tricky, a whole lot. It's all GIS, so software we use is newer system, it's pretty tedious. So the turnaround time, we get it the same day, they take it to the post office, but I can immediately enter it into 911. So as soon as I sync it in the system, it's active in the 911 system, so, and that's what they want, so.
Does that mean the utility crew, if they put the field out there with no address, they can't work on the power lines?
depends what utility is. So, like right now, the water towers, the parcels they're on, they have a parcel number, and they have an ID and all that, but they don't have an actual, they do now. But the companies that are those contractors out there, their companies say, look, if one of my people fall here, what address do we give them? So this is happening not in just Carroll County, it's happening in White County, Tickman County, and a lot of other counties, so. A lot of it's for safety, a lot of lots are trying to get sold right now, that were not, in the past, they're never thinking about getting sold, so. In order to get that process going, they want an address to it, so.
Anything else?
That's it. We're doing a good job in the office, and staying busy.
Cindy?
Just helping out when they need, answering questions, any issues they have.
Okay. Anything from any of the members of the board? But, say anything?
I won't be here next time. So, do your homework,
We need 3 of you.
you three of you,
Yeah.
you gotta do your homework.
Can't skip. Can't play hooky, okay? Cause Ken's gonna be back, and we gotta have a forum. Okay. All right, anybody else? No, okay. Okay. Then I guess we're down to the last item on the agenda.
I move we adjourn.
She was waiting for somebody.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.